know if they can hear, like, what I'm saying, because that always happens.
It's me.
Oh, do you do that? Oh, okay, cool.
Shut you up.
So, everybody, welcome to the HDC meeting of Thursday, April 28th. I've been told that it's 1 o'clock thereabouts. So present at today's meeting are Diane Coombs on Zoom. Val,
Hey, here.
I don't think we need to say here.
All right,
So I'm not sure what the rules are, and I'm not sure that anybody else does either. So I'm just gonna.
no,
You do have to do roll call when you have commissioners in Zoom.
Okay, so Diane, you're here, right?
Stephen's there.
yes, I'm here.
Oh, and Stephen Welch is also in on Zoom, and he just
Here.
unmuted. Thank you, Stephen. Val Oliver.
Here.
Very good. John McLaughlin. Hi. Thank you. Carrie Thornwell.
Here.
And for the record, myself, Ray Cole. That's our board. So for the people in the audience right now, just a couple of reminders. One, if you have your cell phones on, if you could mute them so they would ring, okay? And the second is if you have your own recording device and you want to record any portion of the meeting, let us know in advance. Thanks. And so now we can move along to a vote to approve today's agenda.
I move, so move.
Thank you. And we're going to do a little bit of a rotation because Abby is not with us today. So it's going to be between Carrie and Stephen. Carrie will be on this vote. So Diane's moved to approve today's agenda. On that motion, Val.
Aye.
Thank you, John. On the agenda approval, just say yes.
Yes.
Thank you, John. Carrie on the motion.
Aye.
Diane on the motion.
Aye,
Thank you, and I'm in favor. Motion carries. Okay, so I should just ask, because we do have a live meeting, is there any public comment at this time?
Mr. Chairman, I
Yes.
do have a public comment. I want to say for the record that we will not have a meeting on Tuesday, May 3rd, due to the annual town meeting.
Right.
Most
which
likely
I think
rolling
we
over.
fully anticipate will carry over from Monday and Tuesday. So thanks for,
and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday.
I think maybe so, Diane. You're right. Okay, we got a couple of items that we just want to discuss. I think one is pretty straightforward. The HCC, or I should say the sponsor of the ATM article on hot tubs and spas, has asked for an endorsement from the HCC. We have written, I believe, we have a written version of that endorsement, and we simply want to vote that through. I think it's as simple as that.
There's, yeah.
It's terse as terse can be. So do we all have copies of that? Holly, would you mind just for the record, just reading the statement, or Val or somebody?
Yes, so, but basically they're just worded a little bit different. One could be that the HDC members whose signatures are below have stated that they are in favor of Article 54 in the 2022 annual town meeting, banning hot tubs and spas in the Old Historic District and the Siasconsa Old Historic District.
That's the first
That's-
version.
That's
that's
one
one,
version,
okay.
very simple. This one is a little different.
Okay.
The undersigned HDC members support Article 54 of the 2022 annual town meeting warrant. We feel that hot tubs and spas are inappropriate in the Old Historic District because they conflict with the character of the neighborhood and detract from the quality of life of those living nearby. So one of them is a little more complex than the other, but one.
I actually like this.
Me too.
I think because it goes into a little bit
Explains a
more
little
detail.
more.
Yeah. And it says inappropriate, not
Inappropriate.
banning.
Yeah, right. So, I should have, because we're gonna be signing this and because we want to have a full board, we need another associate member. So Stephen, did you get all that language from where you're sitting?
Yeah, I think I'd like to comment if you're going to activate me.
I'm activating, yes.
Okay, so I'm just for the record, I'm going to abstain if I vote on this. The reason I cited at the last hearing, it's got nothing to do with whether I would generally support this. I'm so sorry. I have to take this call, Mr. Chairman.
Should I take it,
I apologize.
hearing what your rationale was, but I'm gonna switch it over to Carrie just to keep things moving along, okay, Stephen?
Yep, he's
Oh,
gone.
he's gone. Carrie, up to you. Okay, so, as we were saying earlier, now he's totally got my curiosity, yeah, but, so to all the voting members on this, that would include you, Diane, Val, John, Carrie, and myself.
I have given Holly permission to sign my name because I
Okay.
thought we needed it to get it in today. I
You know,
wrote one
Ann
of these.
has been, Ann wants to prep for the meeting, so clearly she would love something from us to be able to add to her packet.
Right.
So, yeah, time is sort of the essence, which is why I decided to put this on today's agenda. So do you have a preference as to which one we go with, Diane?
No, I believe I wrote the one that's up on the board now using the word banning. So it probably should be changed to whatever sounded better. But I sent this to Holly last week.
Okay,
Go the other one.
Well, I don't know, because that one says it detracts from the quality of life, and that's none of our business.
What, the second one?
Yeah.
that's true too.
Very true.
That's
So
true.
why don't we just add on this one Diane wrote in the OHD and SOHD, because they are inappropriate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a better
Yeah.
word.
Okay, I like that. Any other discussion? Does anybody else have anything to contribute to this discussion before we sign this guy?
We were trying to keep it as simple as possible and not cut into reasons for outside of just the statement. That's why we
Yep.
kept.
She was really just looking for our endorsement and, you know, how we word it, I think we've just discussed that. Okay, so, if we're all in favor of this, it sounds like Holly, you're gonna sign for Diane. And Val, what's that?
Or we could run it to her. That's not-
Oh, yeah, otherwise. Okay, so is everyone in favor of the revised language of the letter that we're gonna submit to Ann Duez for Article 54?
Which is because they are inappropriate to the character of the neighborhoods. It
Sound-
incorporates
Yep.
both.
Sounds good. I like that hybridized version. Okay, so that, can I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve.
Okay. Diane has made a motion to approve the revised language of our endorsement of Article 54. And on that motion, Val, John? No. No, okay. Carrie?
Aye.
Okay, Diane, on your motion?
Aye.
Thank you, and I'm in favor too. Okay, so, do we want to just pass that around?
She's, I think, gonna,
Oh, okay, all right. So we'll get back to that. Now, there's, the solar panel warrant discussion, Article 80, home rule petition. Okay, so is that why you're here, Timothy?
Actually, not primarily, no.
No,
I'm actually here to support Betty Moore Fairgrounds,
oh, okay,
but it is an interesting coincidence.
because, who actually put this on? I don't actually.
Jeff
know.
Booms. But,
What?
Why, it's
Some
on
guy-
the agenda?
oh,
Who put
I
it on?
put it on, I asked for it to be on. Somebody's gonna have to speak on our
Oh, that's-
behalf.
Yeah, that's right. So we have two people so far, one being me and the other one being Holly. So if it gets called, which is a question, then I will certainly get up and say that, you know, we can't be in the business of altering the enabling legislation every time, you know, just sort of suit, you know, that what happens to be current at the time, you know, that would be a huge problem. And I think that message will get across.
Right.
Yes, Diane.
No, it's just that it seems that I didn't see it until yesterday. It was published in the paper, what I thought. So I don't have to repeat it. but I am against,
In your feelings about it. Yes, it was correct.
Yes, so was mine.
Yeah.
and I am against it. I think we're trying to further somebody's business.
Well, right, we, like I say, furthering somebody's business or not, every time that there's something that doesn't square with our enabling legislation, I don't think that's cause for us to change it. So I think we have all made that message pretty
Yeah.
clear to the higher powers. So I don't think we need to take a vote on this. I think that Val's point that we had was brought up last Tuesday was that we just have to be prepared in the event that it does come up. Let the record reflect that Abigail Camp has just joined us.
Yeah.
And she wore the coat that matches the Post-it notes in the room, so it's always the fashion statement. Hello, Abby. Okay, so I think we're good on Article 80, correct?
Okay, yep.
All right, everybody good? All right, so now we're off to something a little bit easier, which is the consents. And Abby, thank God you've just arrived because you're gonna need to chair this because I need to recuse on consents. This pen doesn't work. Let's see. Yeah. So can you just chair the consents?
Yes, do I hear a motion?
Motion to,
Oh, can I just say something first? You should establish. Stephen was on, but he had to get off for a phone call, so until we see him up there again, it's gonna be carried.
For consent? Okay.
Yeah, because I'm off.
Okay.
You don't need 5 people. You only need
Okay.
3, but
Do I hear a motion for those consent?
yes, you
Do we
do.
have a
I
problem?
make
Oh, I
a
do.
motion.
Excellent. On that motion, Carrie.
consent.
Diane.
Aye,
Consent.
John. And I am an aye, and Val on your motion.
Aye.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Abby. Okay, so the next one is Abby too, and that is Atlantic Landscaping. Our friend Lindsay approached the bench and Abby will share this one. You got your board. Actually, you're missing Stephen. That a problem for you?
No.
Okay. Abby to you.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
So now-
This is, we made some revisions where the board didn't want to see the wall in the back, so we've eliminated the wall in the back now, which I don't know if you guys remember, but the house behind it, their foundation ended up being a little higher than was maybe previously approved, which actually worked in our favor because it made us not need a wall. You know this property very well, yeah. So the other changes are we moved the cabana closer towards the pool at the request of the board. We shifted the driveway from the parking in the front to the parking, kind of facing off there as opposed to the whole driveway being in the front of the house. And then one other change we did actually make was we moved the spot outside of the pool. Still tucked away behind the house. I think the board's biggest sticking point was the retaining wall at the back. No one really wanted the wall at the back.
Okay. Thank you. Lindsay. Let's see. Who wants to kick this off? Anybody have time to digest it?
I'm okay with it. Got rid of the wall, which was the biggest concern, as long as you can't see the pool. But, who knows, people sign it off anyway.
Okay, so that is from Val Oliver. And Diane Coombs. What do you
Aye.
think?
I think that is, you're not gonna see it. I appreciate the driveway being changed and I don't think that the pool's going to be visible and I appreciate the wall being taken down. Here we go.
John, thank you, Diane. John, what do you think?
I think it's just fine. And George,
Okay, so my personal opinion is that there's more hardscaping and I liked seeing the spas part of the swimming pool and keeping that greenery, but I seem to be in the minority here. So sounds like we've got a motion. Unless somebody wants to deliberate some more. John? Yeah, John, you say yes?
you want a motion to approve it?
Whatever you think, you could try a motion, go ahead.
I see, I think it's appropriate.
Okay,
I'll make the motion.
okay, thank you, John. On John's motion, Val,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
and I am a no, if it passes.
Aye.
Thank you, John.
Okay, now we're on to new business of April 12th. First item of which is 31 Fairgrounds Road, Road Solar and Carport. Elizabeth. Now, is Stephen back? Stephen? Well, no, he was on Zoom and then he had to take the call, so I just want to make sure we're getting him when he's on. Oh, there you are.
Mr. Chairman, I'm here.
Why does this say voted no?
I just wrote that.
Oh, you just don't sign it.
Okay,
usually,
Billy,
right?
I see you,
Chairperson.
or I see your
Okay.
name. Anyway. You plan to speak, Billy?
Yeah, I was there, but I'd like to say something to start this off. First of all,
Well, let's have Elizabeth start, okay? Or do you want to start?
I'd like to,
You're
I'd
gonna
like,
sit-
to-
Yeah,
Okay, wait a second, it's getting more complicated. Stephen is muted. Are you back, Stephen? I see you on the Zoom thing.
Yes.
Back, okay. So Val is off. Now we got Abby's on, I'm on, Diane's on, John's on, and Stephen's on. Did I get that right? Yes, okay. So,
excellent.
that's your board, and Billy, you want to lead it off?
Yeah, I'd just like to say something very quickly, please, and that is notwithstanding, speaking only for myself, I feel very, very strongly that the HDC has and maintains a seat at the table regarding all of these future solar installations and applications. So I just wanted to say that. Secondly,
You, Billy.
this particular project is kind of unique, I believe, but more importantly, this installation in particular will allow this entire project to reach net zero, which I think that most of us can agree that that's an aspirational thing to be doing nowadays. And I hope you like it, and I'll leave it to Elizabeth.
Okay, thanks. Elizabeth.
Yeah, so this is an application for carports that would sustain solar panels on top. The structures are to be fully cantilevered. They're 13'6" at the back. They lean down to 11 feet at the front. They just intended to cover the cars, and they're located completely behind the building so that it won't be seen from fairgrounds. In addition to that, there's plants in the landscape that further screen. We've done some 3D images with that 3D model on one of the pages to show you the views from Fairgrounds Road. You have cross sections of scale and in the various site plans.
We actually have. Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Okay,
page 2
yeah,
has
yeah.
the cross
Okay,
section.
so this is like what I see up at Logan Airport,
Yeah.
you know, these metal things that have solar. Okay. Is that it, Elizabeth?
That's it.
And Tim, did you want to say anything at this point or just? What should we-
I can echo what Billy said. So the design is driven largely by getting to net zero. It's an extremely efficient way to do it because it's sitting on existing car parks. There's 22 units. It's been sized to provide all of those 22 units with their electricity on an annualized basis. Those units are going to be 100% electric. So the goal there would be then to provide clean electricity to those units.
Thanks, Tim.
Yeah, and here to answer any
Oh,
questions.
okay, that's great. Okay, let's see, who would like to begin?
I can go.
Thank you, Abby.
I wanted to ask you a question, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
From Fairgrounds Road, you're saying that it's the tilt is towards the back or towards the other one?
They tilt towards the center of the parking.
So,
Towards the center.
So
Okay.
toward the
yeah, so
road,
some are
toward
gonna
the
face toward the road,
Yeah.
tilt up to the road, and some are gonna face tilt away from the
Pardon me here. All of the panels, the panels to the north and the panels to the south will face in slightly opposite directions. And the tilt will be towards the middle of the area.
Tilt will be what?
It's like this, like, so
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
the center of the parking. so they
Right.
look Like this.
I think the question is being asked basically to know whether the panels will face Fairgrounds Road. And the answer is the ones that are further away from Fairgrounds will be tilted towards Fairgrounds, but they will presumably be blocked by the ones opposite them, closer to Fairgrounds, that are tilted the opposite direction.
Thank you.
Okay? All right, so continue. Abby.
Yeah, no, that was my question. I wanted to know, when you're driving by Fairgrounds, would you be able to see them? My guess is that it would be minimally, the only people seeing these would be part of this community, and hopefully they like them, because they're gonna be looking right down on them. So I think it's it's a test case. That it's negative zero taking energy, supplying its own energy to this. I think that's great, and I think it's part of this whole project. So I'm kind of in favor of it.
Okay.
And hoping that it won't be too intrusive on the neighborhood itself.
Yeah.
Am I-
Thanks a lot, Abby. Diane, go ahead.
No, I need some help here.
Oh,
On my
okay.
plans, I only can see the one that's over on the right-hand side closest to Fairgrounds. And the other one facing the other way is opposite that in the first two houses and that parking lot. Where are the rest of them?
They're covering the parking, the parking spaces that are located between unit number 1, number 8, and the one directly across from them.
You gotta zoom in on that little.
Yeah,
one.
that's,
They're in light blue, and they have sort of a line pattern on them.
You see that, Diane?
yeah, oh, God, that's all going to be solar panels?
Well, it's all gonna be carports if we approve them, of course. And the carports would have solar panels on top of them. Yes, is the answer.
And how tall are they going to be?
Yeah, 13'6" at the back and 11 feet at the front.
I don't know. I haven't got an answer. I don't know. I think it's too many. I think it will knock that whole area out. I think the reflection of it and the people who live behind is a street where people actually live that we thought, I don't know. I can't give you an answer that I'm for it or against it. I'm sort of stunned for the amount of solar panels.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but 11 feet is it's going to be visible from many houses and roadways, I think, but maybe we should have a viewing of some poles out there so we can see what it looks like.
Okay, Diane, thank you. Stephen, you ready?
Sure. First of all, I appreciate the imagery on the third sheet. I think given, I get Diane's point about a view, but I think given at this point, what's there is just, a big hole with a foundation excavation having occurred. These are, very reasonable. Is there reverb?
No, you're good.
Okay, thank you. So having said that, focusing on view 6, I think gives a really good low bird's eye view of what we can expect.
Yes.
If you knock that up a couple of clicks. So with that in mind, and noting that I've actually seen these outside of the historic Falmouth, Massachusetts, similar design at a utilized for a similar purpose. I think that these are appropriate in the form that they've been integrated into the small community. They are not going to be directly visible from the street due to the orientation of the buildings. And, outside of our purview, it is helpful for the island, but for the reason I stated and the actual designs of these elements themselves shown in the side elevations, I think that this could be approved as is. The only thing I would ask is for the avoidance of any confusion or doubt, that we would clarify that the landscape plan that's submitted, we previously approved a landscape plan, and that's the one that's been approved.
So, Stephen, you're basically saying like your condition for your endorsement of this would be that the landscape plan that would help to block these things, is part of the package.
No, actually, and it's not a condition, it's a clarification. We previously approved a landscape plan. So I would just like to clarify that this application pertains only to the carport. Solar.
Oh, you mean that they're not changing the landscape plan sort of with the carport thing? Can you speak
Yeah, and
to that?
I'm not suggesting they are. I just, again, for the avoidance of any doubt when drawings are issued and, this.
I hear you. Okay, Elizabeth, can you?
Yeah, it's the same plan. it's just-
Okay, so Elizabeth is saying it's the same plan that we've had, or that we approved. Thank you. Oh, hang on. Stephen, are you all set?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Abby.
Yeah, one more clarification for me would be to see one single unit of these, so I could see how, and maybe,
You mean like a real one?
no, not a real one,
Oh.
just a drawing, like a 3D drawing, so I could see where the stakes are to hold up.
There's a 3D on-
Yeah,
on
like,
page two.
okay, so it's
Oh.
rather small on
Yeah,
drawings, but
That's sort of quarter scale.
Let me just look at it for a sec, because I didn't see that. And I-
this is
Page
it.
2 on the left
oh, yeah.
has an elevation.
So,
Just to give you perspective. So this part, the ball part is 13 feet high.
So what I was thinking about was the one that you did down at the bike shop.
that was a pergola.
Right, well, this is kind of a pergola, but I'm just wondering about the materials used here, if they couldn't be somehow more, maybe it's wood, or maybe it has some detail on it. Is that to hold up? Is it the weight?
It's the
Yeah.
way, it's
It's
a,
cantilever.
it's a cantilever.
But I mean, I would be more in favor if it sort of blended in to and didn't look so commercial, because it is a resident.
So,
Right.
so the panels are what we call these bifacial panels. And they do have this very softening, pleasing, where they let some of the light through. It's the same panels that we just finished.
I don't think she's speaking about it. Because I was gonna bring up the
The
same,
framing.
it's like the steel I-beam framing that's kind of like incongruous with Nantucket. So if we were able to like wrap that with,
Yeah.
you
That's
know,
what I was
number two, something or other, just so that it had, so it's feeling very commercial looking right now. I didn't want to. I had exactly the same observation. Stephen, are you trying to say something there?
That was
Yeah,
me.
I was just gonna comment that, what I'd seen in Falmouth is actually within the, I-beam itself is a cedar inlay. And just
Uh-huh.
on the most extreme ends, you know, so like if you've got a beginning of it on one side of the parking lot and another on the other end, the inlays really make a dramatic change and they're relatively low cost to affix. You know, it's basically two pieces of cedar inlaid, but it gives it, it really kind of softens the industrial look.
Yeah, that's, I think, what our goal would be.
At the end.
Billy has his hand up. Yes, Billy.
Mr. Chairman, I would just agree with what Stephen just said, and also to Abby's point, of course, we will do everything that we can to try and soften any negative of this, so.
I just have one, I didn't finish my whole thought, but there's this, a similar sort of structure where I walk every day, and they have columns that extend from the house, and on the column is this very simple trellis. It's very simple. It's just, it's two, I don't know, 2 by whatever's, and simple
Right.
lines going across.
It's a great idea.
And that could soften this industrial look, and it could also have. So,
And I think that's a great idea.
It-
Put it at
I-
each end.
yeah, and it's only on one side, so if you had it on,
Right.
you know, it
Either end.
could really soften those, that structure.
Good point, Zach.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can
Um,
I ask a question?
Of course you can, Diane. Go ahead.
So I was wondering if this is what it looks like, what, I don't know the specifications and I can't find any on the page. Does it have wind holding up and like snow holding up on the weight on top of those panels, which,
Yes, it's designed to support winds of up to 140 miles an hour and snow up to 3 feet.
okay. No, that sounds good, then people won't be worried.
Go ahead, Diane. Sorry.
No, I just came across because it just seemed sort of frail out there by itself, but I think Abby's idea of the trellis across the front would be good, and I don't know if there's any room to put any plantings or stuff to begin just going along. They would disappear much better.
Well, I think we have kind of a, first of all, we should hear from John. John, comments? Yeah.
This most likely will be highly visible. The number one comment on it. And I don't know if they go for screening in here, it doesn't show it yet. But you got a 22 parking here,
Yeah.
and how many over there? 16, 20 here and 60, 36 parking. These things are gonna be visible from the road. So I don't know how they're gonna block them from vision. With the steel up in the residential area. It's a lot to this. This.
Right.
For these things here. And to put them up, you're gonna start something. You can't stop once it starts rolling. Everybody will want a carport. And we'll never have a swimming pool now.
No, I don't want.
I think.
I want a swimming pool on top of my carport.
Now you're talking.
But my only comment, I think this is the wrong time to start something new in the old, or in the town area.
Okay.
Even out here, where this, they want to propose this, that is not Nantucket. I don't care what they say. They just say you can't have them and that's the end of it. But the commission should get together and 8 commission members have a public hearing on it and see what's happening here. Because that's not manufactured. And it brands me to see it. So, I don't think we should get involved in this, in these things. Yeah. Bad scene. I don't know, what is the screening here? Anybody
We have buildings in front.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
We
there's
have
buildings
buildings.
between the carport and.
So
What's
sorry.
what's all the
So
green?
This is Fairgrounds Road.
Yeah,
You have this big open space and you have 2 buildings, 3 family units. It's behind those.
have what?
They're located behind these 2 large buildings.
That's,
You have the view
Oh,
here, the buildings, this is Fairgrounds, so they're located behind them,
Stevens Reese is
Yeah, located where? Behind it?
behind the building.
Hey,
Oh, okay. All right.
Over the common parking.
Stephen, I'll get to you in just one
It's
second,
a
okay?
building.
Elizabeth is explaining something to John.
These, all right,
So we're hiding them from public.
okay, 2 buildings here.
Yeah.
What's the height for the?
30 feet, 29 feet, yeah.
Some of it,
And these are 13 feet.
some of these are gonna be visible. If you across this.
No.
open area.
Not
They're
with the
gonna be
landscape.
visible, No.
Not with the.
They're open all around, John. It's just a plane at the roof surface.
Tree,
Not a-
tree.
forest.
Yeah, the screen,
Okay, there's buildings too.
you know, but. As I say, I don't think we should mess with this.
Thank you, John. Stephen, you had another point?
Yeah, actually, too. One, I guess a clarification is 2 clarifications. One, with respect to Mr. McLaughlin's comment, I mean, this is solar without the house. And I thought was that solar was the way the world is going, and, you know,
Stephen, you're breaking up.
Kinda.
You keep breaking up, Stephen.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Try it again.
Yeah, we can hear you now, but you keep
Okay,
breaking
so-
up. Go.
I was just trying to get some clarification on Mr. McLaughlin's point, because these are basically solar without the house. And recent, previous, and longstanding comments he's made is that solar's, you know, don't deny it, it's okay. So that's one. The other thing was, I just wanted to make sure I understood Abby's point about the trellis. Where was that being proposed? Because if it's on the house side of these units, these run the length of the parking area, and people will be obstructed from getting to from their car.
No. I think she was just recommending that as a way of masking over the steel I-beam that's acting as the post, Stephen.
Okay, I got you. So just
It's
trellis.
very similar. It's a riff on what you just said about the wood.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure I understood, because one would be very dramatically different than the other. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, one wouldn't work, correct. Abby, you said you had a further.
Yeah, well, I
comment.
it's via this side of the table, but we almost got there, but maybe we could, and for all these people that are on the fence or not, we could do a sample of one unit just to see what it would look like. And I know it's a lot to ask, but
Well, I'm not sure it's a huge amount to ask, but is that?
that was
your
the,
point?
yeah.
Okay.
I
So-
would go with that. I think it's
Yeah,
important.
so, yeah, this is obviously impactful, certainly if it turns out to be visible. So my view is, I like the concept, I like all the recommendations the board has made to make it less commercial character. And I think my own view is that it's far enough away from fairgrounds, and it's also got buildings between fairgrounds and it, that it's going to be of minimal, if any, visibility from fairgrounds. But to that point, maybe we could have a motion to have some revisions made that would include some of these methods of mitigating, but also, you know, basically set up the upside down L-shaped form kind of where it's going to be on site, because I think that if you're on Fairgrounds Road and you look over across what is now an empty field, you're going to see that it's like very small.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah, was that you, Stephen?
Yeah, I'd like to revise the concept of the motion slightly and see if this floats. But the motion would be to hold for revisions and additional information. The additional information would be, a CAD program, architecturally generated semblance of the two suggestions that were made, one with the trellis wrap, one with the wood inserts. And the other item would be that a post would be put up roughly in the location of each end of these closest on the car area closest to fairgrounds. And I think between the two of those, we are going to see literally a photorealistic without the applicant having to order, a $10,000, $15,000
Real
structure.
thing. No,
Yeah.
I was suggesting wood, plywood mock-up. type of
Oh,
thing.
gotcha.
But-
Okay.
But what you just said kind of sounds to me like a motion, Stephen.
Okay. So moved.
All right, so Stephen has just made that motion. Terry, hopefully you got all that. If not, we can explain.
Could I just clarify on the treatment that you'd like to see on the post to soften the look? Is it okay to apply this treatment on the end pieces only, or does it have to apply to every post?
How many
Trellis
posts
or
are there?
wrapping?
There's a
No, there's
lot.
quite a
There's a
few.
lot.
From
So-
on the fairground side?
Pardon me. Elizabeth? Or Mr. Chairman, we will be applying it everywhere where it looks appropriate.
Yeah, I mean, the trellis idea is short money, and it would frankly beautify the whole thing for the tenants of these buildings. So,
Yeah.
I think.
No. I
Send it to you.
Okay, so that's, hang on. Wait, there is a motion on the table, which I'm
Okay.
like, and I think it covers us. So on the motion, Abby,
Aye.
yes, there's a motion. There's a motion. Okay, Abby's in favor of. Diane,
Aye.
a motion to hold
model.
for revisions and a mock-up, John.
You better have further comments before we even get off. the
No,
table.
you just had a chance to do your comments. I took your comments, I waited for your comments, and now we have a motion on the table. This is called Robert's Rules, okay? We're having a motion right now. The motion is to hold for revisions plus a mock-up. Abby's in favor, Diane's in favor, are you in favor? It's,
I wasn't through. and I-
we're not approving this, John. We're not approving this right now, so you don't have to worry
I know
about it.
what it is.
Okay,
I've been here long enough. to
no, I
that.
know,
Thank you.
longer than I have.
I still have comments on the motion.
But on the motion,
The motion.
okay, can
Vote
you-
for revision.
revisions and a mock-up or a computer generated
And post on location.
and post on location. All of the above. We're not approving it now, John. I just
I
want to
know
be clear
that,
on that.
we're all the years here, I can be
Yeah,
told that,
okay, no, just-
no? Doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Anyway. No, I will hold my thoughts, because
Well, you'll have another
This is
opportunity. is
important
what I'm
thing.
saying.
that thing.
Okay, so would you like to be in favor of the motion for revisions?
Made the motion,
Stephen,
Peter made the motion, the whole
your
revision.
doppelganger. Okay, so,
Hold.
okay, so I think that means he's in favor. And Stephen on your motion?
I'm an aye, but I just wanted to say, John reminds me when I'm older and more stubborn.
That's why you're the doppelganger.
Yeah.
You're, yes, and I'm in favor too, so that motion carries. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Now, I know that Linda Williams wants to hold through Pine Tree because she's not here. She's on the road, so can I have a motion to hold through Pine Tree for representation?
Really is easy.
Three times.
Oh, move.
No, she said she needed to do more information. Diane, thanks for the motion. On the motion, Val.
Aye.
Aye.
Abby. Thank you. John,
Aye.
thank you. Diane, on your motion?
Aye.
Not in favor, motion carries. Okay, do we have anybody here to represent 8 Grand Avenue?
See where on the screen.
This was held, right? It's held, and now we're maybe to this, but I gotta see if we got, do we have somebody to rep
I
this?
think we do.
We do.
John Bunting. Oh,
Yes.
John Bunting.
Nick Holt. That was Linda Williams,
Yeah.
not.
He just needs to unmute. There you go.
I think so.
Maybe
Yeah,
this
he's right
guy's
there.
working for Steven.
I'm not gonna sit on this.
All right, do.
Sure.
We do have somebody to rep.
Soki's here.
Okay,
Hello.
hi. Before we get going, let me establish your board, okay? I believe I just heard that Val is sitting off,
Yep.
right? So Carrie's on. Is that all right, Carrie?
Yep, of course.
All right, so your board is Abby, myself, John, Diane, and Carrie, okay? So you go for it. You want to demolish a chimney?
Yes. Hello.
Aye. So that's it.
We would demolish the chimney and then we're gonna rebuild it once we install a new foundation on the house. The house has already been permitted to move it and install a new foundation.
Okay, so you want to take down the chimney but rebuild it?
Yes, it's gonna be
So the
rebuilt.
takedown is a temporary takedown. You're gonna put it back where it was,
Where it was, exactly same spot, height, width,
same size?
same size.
Okay, so I got a feeling that this is not consented because of the age of the building.
Correct.
Yes. So thank you for your presentation, and now we shall hear from Holly.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So based on information that I was able to find, this structure is circa 1890s, turn of the century. And yes, you did see plans, I think that Stephen from NAG submitted on, SAB took a look at this on April 25th. They said, before removing this detail, SAB would suggest seeing more historical information about the cottage as it relates to the former Old Sconset Inn, predating Moby Dick Inn, the summer house. And I want to echo that statement from the fact that there was no historical information attached or included on the application. I'm glad to hear there wasn't anything indicating that the chimney was proposed to be put back. That was not included. So thank you for doing that. Because the chimney is a character defining feature of this contributing structure. I would recommend having the documentation of the chimney, and that is put back as it is.
Right.
Existing, same type of brick and all that.
Did you get all that?
Yes.
So what we need is some historical information on the building, which Holly would be happy to help you get together. And then we're going to need to have assurances that if we allow the chimney to be taken down for the move, that it will go back up, same size, using old brick, those sort of things, okay?
So what kind of assurance would that be?
Well, did you say that you already had approval from us to move the house?
Yes, we're set to move it. Yes.
Okay, so when you move the house and you go to get your C of O, we're gonna come out and visit you. And if the chimney's not there, you're in big trouble.
Mr. Chair, I don't believe that Stephen Thoreau was here before for a move. There were some alterations that were proposed for this
It
structure.
might have
but I-
included the lift for the.
Okay,
foundation.
maybe you're not moving the house, maybe you're just putting a new foundation under it.
Yes, we are lifting it up and
Okay.
just putting.
Regardless of what you're doing, we're gonna be out to visit you once you're finished with the project, so you can get a certificate of occupancy. You need us to sign off on it. And our assurance is that the chimney, we have a photograph that we're all looking at right now. We know what it looks like, we know how tall it is, we know how wide it is. And we're gonna want, when whoever comes out from the HCC to do the review, is gonna wanna see the chimney looking just like that, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
Yes,
so,
Good luck getting
now that I've explained all that, I do wanna, ask, my board members what they think about all this, okay? And so, who
I'll
wants?
go.
Thank you, Diane, go ahead.
I wonder, it looks like, and it's hard to tell, that the brick that is going on that chimney is in fairly good condition, and I would ask that they reuse as much as they can on that chimney. However, that picture, just for interest, does show two other chimneys.
I think that's on a different building, Diane.
You
Yes.
think that back one with the owl
Yeah.
is in it?
On the neighbors.
Yeah,
building.
that's on that huge one on the corner, I think.
And what about the tin one?
The tin one, well, yeah. Do you actually want that to go back?
No, I
don't-
don't. I think we ought to
Okay.
say what's there, that's all.
Okay. Continue, Diane.
No, what I said about the brick chimney is what I feel. Just say, are we going to have that tin chimney back, or is that going to go?
That's not a part of our house.
It's
Yeah.
coming right out of the side of the house.
Diane is actually talking now about the little metal chimney that comes out of that shed.
No, so that shed is being demolished. Yes, on the plans that Stephen proposed to you, that shed we are removing it and
Okay.
not building it back because
So
the
the
boiler
tin chimney
that's
is going to
boiler.
happen. Okay, all right, thank you. Diane.
That's fine. I just thought we should know what was going and what was staying. And what I said about the chimney bricks is what I think.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Who's next?
I can go.
Thanks, Al.
I'd like to see some, when you put it back, a little corbelling at the top and maybe an owl. It seems a little swaying in the breeze there. And that might give it grounded a bit.
Sometimes grounded. Fun.
Okay, all right, Abby, thank you. That makes it a little more complicated because then we're changing from what the original chimney is.
Right.
mean,
I
understand
imagine
what you're
it
saying.
probably had corbelling on it and maybe it blew off in a northeaster.
Oh, I don't think so.
These are very simple.
Okay, so it's a little stark for an 1880s cottage. I somehow it's a little odd, but I'm just one person
Yeah,
here. so.
no, I hear you. John, comments on the chimney?
I think you have the right to replace it
Mhm.
with the same type of brick. Okay, now there's a chimney in the background.
Yeah, that's actually on the neighbor's house.
Okay. I just
Yeah,
wanted to-
we're only talking about the big one.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Okay, thank you, Diane. I guess you- I can't remember.
I always said,
Yeah, you did. Oh, of course you did. Carrie.
I'm fine, and I do appreciate rebuilding it and using as much of the old brick as possible.
All right. So I think we can move this one for you. Does somebody want to make a motion?
make a motion
Okay.
to approve with
Okay.
the using of the old bricks as much as possible.
Sounds good. All right, so that's Diane's motion. On Diane's motion, Abby.
And I'm an I, but I would love to see some corbelling of it or something.
You have at least one board member, and I'm not sure that I would disagree that you could make the top piece a little bit more ornate than it is right now. Kind of more like what you see in the picture in the background. I mean, the chimney. Okay, so Abby's an I. Carrie,
Aye.
thank you. John,
Aye.
thank you. Diane, on your motion.
Aye.
I'm in favor. Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, so next up is 76 Baxter Road. And Lindsay would like to do a pool on top of a carport. This is, yeah, so I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's coming to
He
us.
doesn't want a pool, but no carport. Not yet.
Maybe a pool with a solar panels on top of it.
Well, that's what.
Mind blown. Dude, now you're talking.
Just saying.
Smart people in the room. Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Oh, it's
They're
not-
cookies from Elizabeth.
No.
She
Who
just,
makes cookies?
Let's go.
Elizabeth, she just dropped these boxes off.
All right, so,
I think she probably made them. They smell amazing.
Make you sick.
so, pretty simple pool, very little hardscape, just really pool coping, fine house.
Yeah. Okay, is that it, Lindsay?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Nothing, not a ton of hardscape.
All right, and this is probably in Wisconsin, right? Wisconsin
Yeah.
Advisory.
Nope, it's actually outside of their.
Oh, it is,
I think visibility is gonna be.
Okay, all right, who wants to start? This is the regular board, right? Yeah. Well,
So is this a corner of the lot, Lindsay, or is it one end? Or is it a
Uh,
double lot?
I don't know if it's a double lot, but I think it's one in.
It is right here.
Right, so it shows that, but then it shows here, Baker Lane right on the corner.
Oh, right. You're right. It's in the back lot.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, looks like it's a double lot. Yeah.
I think the lots merged.
Chairman, one question.
sure.
If somebody applies for a new pool, what happens to the old? Do they cover it over? Or do they take it off to the
There was no-
junkyard?
There wasn't,
no pool.
there wasn't, there's no pool there now. We're proposing a pool.
It's not a
No pool there
replacement.
now, just a yard.
It's just grass right now.
But to answer your question, sometimes there are old pools, they just crunch them up and take them out.
Very good.
Yeah. Done that.
Thank you.
Lindsay, yeah. All right. All right, guys.
I'll tell you why I'm not in favor of it.
Why?
Because we're
favor of the
living
hedge.
right over the privet hedge, right onto a full-length pool. I mean, at least you could put it this way, but going down Baxter, you're going to look right across at that pool, and in the winter, it's going to be completely
Well,
visible.
we would have to make sure that it's not visible from public way.
And how would you
You
do
know what, Lindsay? Yo, you will, did you see the pictures?
I did.
Okay,
We don't want to be those.
you know, well,
Don't
that's
wanna be
right,
those guys.
and, you know.
But these
this is
guys
a
don't even have a
problem.
Privet, there's a privet.
Yeah, this
Could
actually
be a
has.
fence along
Yeah,
the
there's a
on
privet,
the
but I
side.
think, you know, single, well, look at the bottom right-hand photograph.
Mhm.
That's a privet in the winter time. I can see every blade of grass in the yard.
What if we propose doubling up the privet? Because it's
well,
already fully established.
Let's see what the board has to say about this. Okay, so Abby, you're concerned about visibility looking across the yard through a single width of privet at a pool. Okay, any more on that?
Well, also, it's going,
Oh, the lengthwise.
Yeah.
Okay. Who else?
I'll go.
Okay, Diane, go ahead.
I agree that the pool should turn and go along the side of the house. And as we discussed about Vesta Lane yesterday, that although planting is supposed to be in and working at time of inspection, certainly at that pool over there, it was not. I think if you put in a double row of hedging there, you would not have it covered by the time the pool needs to be seen. You have to put something else in behind it that fills out faster than hedge. Than privet does. Privet does not go out that fast, and certainly you can see right through it as if it wasn't there. So that's what I think, turn the pool and come up with a better thing to be put along Baxter Road. And it would reduce the size and sight of the pool.
All right, Diane, thank you. I'll come back to you. John,
Yes. I'm just curious, it says that the existing fence, is that part of the application?
No, it's
Split
just,
rail.
Cover it?
it's just the pool, just this right here, John.
What do you got around here? It's not seen.
Well, it's just the existing privet hedge, but I think what they're asking is for more screening. Visibility from over here.
But you can see in the summer, it's not bad. In the winter, you can't see, you can see everything.
Right,
Right
exactly,
through the hedge.
yeah.
see that picture up on the thing there? You can see right through that. privet.
Need better privet.
You say it happens a lot, you know, they apply for something wrong time of the year. so.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, it looks fine to me. Thank you.
Okay.
I always felt comfortable with our caveat, but
Until
given
Tuesday
recent
night.
events, my question would be, if the in perpetuity isn't kept up, what do we do? Fine people?
Yeah.
There's gotta be some recourse for,
We do actually have that ability.
so,
We do. Think, by the way,
yeah.
we might wanna
Start.
do on that particular application. Anyway,
So if it's truly screened, I'm okay with it, but I wouldn't mind some of the changes these guys have come up with either.
yeah, so, thank you, Val. For me, I think that the deficiencies of privet as a screening mechanism are evident from that photograph. And I've always found that the closer the screening is to the pool, i.e. further away from Baxter Road, the more opaque it's gonna read.
Right on.
So why not some kind of a hedge that's much closer to the pool and a real evergreen hedge? You know, holly or something like that, that's gonna stay green and dense all winter long. And I know that if it's closer to the pool, then it will knock out the visibility. I know that. So those are my comments.
Yeah, I did have one more thought.
Mm,
And
oh,
the
right, right.
question was, what's the precedence for this in this neighborhood? I
Pools
can't,
on Baxter?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just did one just last year at, or Baxter. There's pools down Baxter Road.
And what's
On this
his name
side.
Came in before,
which one?
what's his name? Not More. Your old boss, wasn't it?
Chris Dalmas came in for,
Yeah, he just did one, right?
Yeah.
Definitely 136.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
I mean, they're
They're
around.
up and down.
they're around, but they're not.
They're hard to see because, you know, they are street.
Right, but also, you know, I just, you know, if there were like 20, I'd say, well, okay, we're going to hell in a handbasket, no, but, you know, I don't think there are that many.
Well, how offensive is a solid board fence inside the privet? Because the privet's still
Oh, I
there in
wouldn't
the
mind that
summertime. A solid board
I
fence
wouldn't
would
mind that either.
deal with it and be hidden by the privet in the summer and block the view in the winter. It seems like,
So you're like on the lawn side of the fence, so it's solid board fence?
yeah, I mean, that would solve the issue, no problem, no doubt. I don't know, but I'm not sitting on it, sorry.
Right.
Oh,
Well, you got a
okay,
number
I
of
thought-
suggestions.
Yeah, we can hold
Number
over
of
it.
concerns, so
I get it.
we're gonna kick it back to you.
Yep.
I'll make a motion to hold.
All right,
Thank you.
so the motion is to hold for some revisions. That's Abby's motion. On the motion, Diane.
Aye.
Thank you, Val. Thanks, John.
I,
Thank you, Abby, on your motion,
Aye.
and I'm in favor. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, 17 Milk Street.
Oh, that's me. Hello.
Oh, come on up. I
Thank
mean,
you so
you're
much.
already here.
Yes, thank you. and thank you for considering this. I have a tiny little house on 17. The door is green, it's a hunter green, and it's not a color I particularly like. So I'm hoping to change it to the Nantucket red. I have a picture of a house across the way from me.
Did you say Nantucket gray?
Red.
Red.
Oh, Nantucket red.
Sorry.
Cottage
The
red.
cottage is grey, and that would be the color that, and that's across the way from me.
Okay,
So that's what it is now,
right.
and I will have a little board
And I
eventually
think the
above.
only reason that this wasn't consent at all, I don't want to speak necessarily out of turn,
Yes,
was the storm door.
oh, I hate that thing, I'd like to get rid of it.
Okay, so your
Can't stand
application
it.
is easy, so hang on.
Okay,
Holly, what did ASAP have to say? Because we've been holding it for you to be here.
So this is
Oh,
a circa
very kind.
1940s cottage in the New Historic District. HSAP took a look on the 25th of April. Nantucket red is fairly pink. This is okay for the door, but the window boxes should be painted a more muted color, such as a trim color. Not that you're
I've
also wanting to do
painted
the.
them like the trim. I have painted them already,
Okay.
and they're grey, they're sort of.
Oh.
I
since
found-
the
and then
photo
they-
is
And
something
that's
that's
true,
red.
because I went to a yard sale next door to you. this-
And you saw,
Yeah.
no, it's just, no, that was just the primer, because I saw you've got to prime it and then you paint it, so
Okay.
I did,
They said the storm door should be removed or painted to match the door.
thank God. Thank you.
Okay,
So that was their recommendation.
that was it.
Yep, and I
Okay,
agree.
so now, just so that we know, do you want to remove the storm door or just paint it different?
I'm told that having a storm door can be good, it preserves actually the door itself.
That's
Just like
true.
in the picture, I included the
It's
picture of
good
my
to have a
neighbors.
storm door.
Yes, exactly, and as there are storms, it's just to protect more of that painted thing.
So you would be amenable to painting the storm door the same?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Of course, no matter what I put, I'm actually thinking of taking out that door altogether and putting a brand new one that would be almost identical, but new. Right now it's all cracked if you go
I
up
can
close.
see
You can
close
see.
up. you can
It's
see how
very
it was-
tatty.
It was not pre-primed.
No,
Okay, thank you. Again, this is the regular board opinions.
I can go.
Thanks.
I don't mind if it's a red going towards pink anyway, so.
thank you very much.
Okay,
It'll be exactly like my neighbor across the way, the same color.
What did they have for a storm color? I didn't see the picture.
But I have a
not
picture
the
of it.
same color.
her phone went
around. I don't know how
Yeah, have a look.
We lost the picture.
Here's the trim color.
Sorry.
That particular door had the trim color.
Yes, whatever they did, I'd like to do. I'm sorry for being such a copycat,
Oh,
but
so are you suggesting you would rather paint the storm door?
no, I
trim?
can't because I don't think I can because it's a metal. So this is what they did. They had
Oh,
it.
yeah, so you
So
could match it to
I'm
your
going to,
trim.
exactly, I'm going to match it to the trim and then just the door will be that color.
Okay.
Looks good.
Yes?
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
that's
and
the
then,
neighbor
you
house?
know-
Yes, of course. They're just across the way from me.
We're actually gonna be seeing the storm a lot more than. the regular.
No, that's just
So
the.
that you're okay?
Yeah,
with
it's
this?
this.
Okay,
Oh,
thank
okay,
you.
yeah, no, I'm fine with that.
Okay, sounds like Val's good.
Is it to replace the door and the color change? Because I think.
Well,
that should
I'm
be-
going to have to reframe just the way they did. I'm going to find out what they did and do exactly that. Whatever they did, because you see, it protects the door, but it's
You
all more
mean-
integrated. It'll look more
You're talking about
elegant.
the storm door.
Yeah.
You see,
Right.
with the storm door would be the
Hey.
same color as the frame.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Holly.
Yeah, so it'll
just
be
so you know,
exactly, and
changing
you'll
the
only
frame.
see the pink.
That's a metal door.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can't really paint.
Right.
No, I have to
You
put a new
switch
one,
it out.
or what, I have to
And-
put a whole
and
new
the plan
door.
is for her to switch that door out and paint it the same color as the trim, okay?
But you're not
John,
switching out any of the
comments?
trim,
Right.
Oh, God, no, no,
Okay.
I'm
just
just,
the door,
Hang
right?
on.
just this.
Clarifying.
And then my door will be a brand new door, but it'll be just like this neighbor.
Sorry, John has the floor.
When that machine was handed to me, all right,
That
John,
machine
have a
is
look.
called the
This,
telephone.
this is my neighbor across the way from me. I want to do the same thing. Of course, I'm just.
that's what I saw, okay?
Yes, yes.
How did you get the car in the living room?
Ah.
Amazing.
It is,
I
isn't
know.
it?
You didn't see it?
It's one of those inflatable cars.
Yeah,
It's really small. and
I saw that camera.
Okay, motion, let's make a motion to approve.
Yeah, so you already sent it to
Well, okay, Diane, are you, any problems here, Diane?
I'd like to see the storm door made into a wooden storm door and
Gonna do that. She's switching it out. It's metal right now.
Yes.
I know it's metal right now. I was at the meeting when we discussed it.
I'm sorry.
All right,
Okay, Diane, I think that's part of what we're approving. So who
I
was
was-
gonna make motion?
I was gonna,
Oh, go ahead, Val.
motion to approve with the door changing to the red and the storm door being changed out like the neighbors to Matt and to match her trim color. Can you email that picture? Okay,
She's doing it.
Oh,
perfect.
great. Okay, so that is Val's motion. On the motion, Abby,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
thank you, John.
all right.
Val on your motion.
Aye.
And I'm in favor of motion carries. Thank you for coming in and explaining all that to us.
I'm
Okay.
thrilled.
Enjoy your new doors. Okay, okay, garden group. Approach the bench.
Sorry about the other night, it was
Oh,
bedtime for the
no,
kids.
no.
It's our bedtime too.
As I was running upstairs, I could hear garden groups, I'm here for garden groups. I'm like, oh, darn.
Picket fence.
You just let us know. You go ahead.
It's a white picket fence along the property line. And there'll be boxwoods on the inside. There's a little, that's an example of one on the road.
Is that one of your designs?
What's that?
One Cliff Road. One Cliff Lane, sorry.
Sorry, didn't you design that?
This is 81 Cliff, but the example photo was One Cliff Lane.
Oh.
Excuse me, I didn't catch the name of the representative and I can't see him.
My name's Grayson Keller.
Could you repeat that again?
Grayson Keller.
Grayson Kelly?
Keller.
Oh, shoot.
Grace Kelly.
Wait, so.
It's the one that took the.
Which Sherburne term.
Oh, Dwyer just did this job.
Yeah, Dwyer, yeah.
I think it looks really good.
Yeah, it
I
does.
like the dormer up there.
Yeah. So we didn't want to hide any of that, but she wanted to have some sort of delineation, but not privet.
What did H shop say? Is it H shop?
Oh. That was a good.
And it would look like you're saying
Yeah,
84.
84 and 81 Cliff Lane should be identical. And then, so we're just gonna continue with that.
So it's just wrapping around the corner.
Correct. And then also up here along the house.
Did you say along the house?
So right here, it's like there's a gate there to go to the house, then it kind of goes to the property line there.
So, okay, down there.
Yes.
And then this is you too. Right?
Yes, yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Hey, Grayson,
Yeah.
is the pool approved?
I don't know who did the pool.
Okay,
Is it already in?
It is.
okay.
If it is, you
Just
can't see it.
curious.
Drop down there.
I think this is like typical Nantucket.
Make a nice corner.
Yeah.
Okay. Diane, anything?
No, I think it'll look fine.
Okay, sounds good. John, comments?
I'm in favor of it.
All right, sounds like everybody's in favor. of it.
Motion to approve.
All right, Val's made a motion to approve on that motion. Abby,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
thank you, John.
I,
Motion. Val.
Oh, aye,
Thank
yes.
you, and I'm in favor too.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks. Grace.
See
Bye-bye.
you soon.
Yeah.
How many more do we have, do you think?
Do you mean today?
Yes.
Just a couple, because we got, it's already 2:15, right?
Must be
Okay, and
just
you-
two or
you're-
three.
I'm next, yeah.
Oh, so there we are. How convenient. Okay, so 10 Angola.
Well, it's not really 10
Oh,
anymore.
it's not.
No, because I'm working on 10 and it got subdivided. So this is like,
But it's still showing address for some reason, 10 Angola
Yeah.
Street. When I applied, they told me to put the 10 Angola because it
Yeah.
doesn't have a different address. So we're
Yeah.
applying as a 10 Angola.
That's a tax.
Those things are happening so rapidly out here. The addresses keep changing.
What we're trying to do here, we're trying to get access to the new property which been divided. Because as of right now, we just want to add a little bit more Belgian block on the side, so it will be easy access. Let's say 10B on Gold Street and with the shells.
That's a good question.
yeah,
Well, I guess I know the answer to the question. So you basically, because the property was subdivided, this apron is serving two different properties.
Yes,
One apron, two properties. So,
and most apron is on the 10 on Gold Street, so we have just a
which
little
is yours
piece.
now?
Yeah,
That's your property.
yeah. So should I not sit on this?
I mean, like, are you biased because of the apron?
No, it's kind of wide though.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I think everybody gets
Yeah,
what you're trying to do here. How about we listen to ASAP?
Thank you.
And if after ASAP you're feeling like, like it's squirrely, you could just.
I'll let
refuse.
Carrie sit on
Okay,
it, just to
Carrie.
be clean.
Yeah, okay, that sounds good. Just to be clean.
Just to be
Okay, thanks, Holly.
Okay, Mr. Chair, so this, now understanding this is for a vacant lot that was subdivided off of 10 Angola that was built in 1970s. HF took a look at this on April 11th. Creating a double driveway this wide is inappropriate. The two driveways should be separated. The Belgian block apron is not appropriate for this rural road and should be removed or at least not copied next door on the new driveway. Shell driveways do not fit into this neighborhood, change to natural pea stone. From a zoning perspective, the proposed driveway must follow the zoning bylaw, chapter 139-20.1. That is in reference to both the apron and the driveway. It does not seem to comply, understanding that there's some existing conditions that are there when it was one lot. So having, and I'm concerned on sharing a driveway from a non-easement perspective. If there's not an actual easement on record for having that shared apron aspect, that might come into concern. So I don't know if there was any documentation that was done when they subdivided the property or when they sold the property, but that should be looked into. So, and I agree with HSAB as far as the appearance of the driveway.
Holly, thank you. So all of a sudden, things are starting to crystallize for me. Even though you've circled the whole thing, a lot of this is already in place. Like this whole thing is already there, right?
Already there, yes.
For Val's project.
Yes.
The Belgian block going to Val's property is already there,
Right.
all right?
Yeah.
So,
So we just want to remove those little rocks what's there and just add some, so it will be easy access. That's all.
okay,
Yeah.
but so already some concerns have been raised about the extent of Belgian block going across. And what was the legal zoning aspect of that I missed?
So aprons, there's a certain length
Oh,
and
width.
both length and width.
So
of
this would
apron.
exceed that.
Correct. Now, because this is a separate lot, it would make more sense for it to be a separate driveway with a separate curb cut. You're gonna have to go to the DPW anyways, and they're gonna ask for this COA in order to approve it. If there's no legal document giving the permission to utilize the same, because you kind of have a quasi dual access with having this.
Because they're connected, if you can
Right.
shift it over and disconnect
So,
it.
so
That's what
if
we're
you,
trying to get
so
at.
basically from point A to point B, that's a large apron
Mhm.
share. If we make it so they're both separate, so there's no connection here, and again, you might have to talk to the clients on that. But that would be make more sense, because what this is kind of giving me leading me to believe that there should be some type of access easement to share that apron. And it's kind of weird. It's odd.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because I think that the sort of zoning legal aspect of it is running in the same direction as the HCC aspect of it, which is the wide expanse of relatively formal material on a dirt road.
But what's interesting is she's only adding 5 feet to the existing apron, whereas a whole new one is gonna be
Oh,
15 to 12
wow,
feet.
that's
So in fact, this is gonna be
so
less.
interesting.
What about,
Yeah, it's
Oh my gosh.
6.5 dozen.
Ray,
Okay.
what about an apron on a dirt road?
This is not a dirt road.
It is it says it's
Same
dirt.
dirt.
I feel like I just drove it.
It says it's dirt.
Yeah,
It's not.
well, look at the picture. That looks like dirt to me.
Yes.
Let me see.
Dirt does not require an apron, just to throw that out there.
Right.
It's stuck on
Oh,
the.
that's right, they took that back, yeah. Okay, so John, you had a question, sir?
I had a question, is this structure, you have to go up the hill about, I'll say, 10 feet to get to the garage on an angle. Right, did this house?
There's
if
no
anybody
house.
remembers- Wait a minute. If anybody can answer my question. Is this house that used to belong to Mr. and Mrs. Searle, Searle?
Yes, it was.
It did,
It
there's a
was.
fine couple, nice people.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's quite, getting up there is gonna be a problem. And what has she got? Gravel?
As of right now, it's a gravel, yes. But we wanted to put the shell with the same.
It's gonna stay gravel?
Well, we wanted to put the shell, but it was a command, we cannot do the shell. It
Well,
has to
that
be-
wasn't a command, that was a
About
recommendation.
the materials being used there.
But I believe on the street, they do have a shell driveways already on Angola Street and neighbors' properties.
Oh, well, that's.
Without the
evident.
apron,
Right there,
yeah,
that's shell.
yeah.
Although the recommendation from HSAP was to go with gravel. That's what happened.
Mhm.
Okay, John, did she answer your question to your satisfaction?
Somewhat, yes. Is Mr. and Mrs. Searle alive? No?
No, the house is
The house
sold.
is sold, yeah.
You know, for instance.
The house is sold and there's no house on that piece of property which been subdivided,
Right.
so it's empty.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So, thank you. Some interesting stuff is coming out of this. So Carrie had a really interesting point about like, well, most of it's already there. Most of it already belongs to Val's client, the neighbor. And adding 5 feet to this, is that more or less impactful than having a brand new full width thing? I think that's a very.
I'm gonna have my person contact you so you guys can figure it out, because I don't know what the arrangement is.
Okay.
But the zoning bylaw, I think, is clear, and they would have to go to zoning.
Oh, yeah, they'd have
Yeah.
to get relief for that.
And we decided whether it was a dirt road or not?
Well, is
It's a
all of,
dirt road,
is all
Diane,
of, it says
absolutely.
it's dirt, but is all of Angola dirt?
Oh, that I don't know.
All the way to South Mill?
Uh,
I'm not sure about that.
it's
Yeah.
dirt road goes
A
all the
lot
way
of
around
it's
where
dirt.
the new development is.
But we're at South Mill.
If it doesn't, if it is a dirt road and we don't have to have an apron for it, then it would make it easier for them to get in
Recognizer.
using
Okay.
gravel.
Okay, Diane, thank you.
I'll go.
Abby, yeah.
Only thing I'm sure about is that I would prefer sweet pea gravel to shell. I think shell, maybe, it might exist towards the other end of the street, but I think
Oh,
this
it's
end
on this driveway right here,
is.
Well, where is that driveway?
isn't it? It's the neighbor's driveway, right?
I don't know. This one is the neighbor?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, in this area, in this exact neighborhood right here, I think Keystone is more appropriate.
That's what he's
It's
saying.
rural.
Yeah.
I do agree with that.
I do too. Maybe we could have a motion to hold for revisions and more information as
So
to the,
actually, now that you know that she's working with the people next door, and now that you know some of the zoning related issues, you may want to give this further scrutiny. I think, and I think that the shell is not going to get a lot of favor, even though it exists. It's kind of bright and formal in an area that's quite rural in character. So do we want to make a motion to hold for some revisions on this? one?
I would make that motion to hold for revisions, more
Okay.
information as to the driveway, etc.
Sounds good to me, Diane. Thanks for the motion. On that motion, Abby,
Aye.
Val,
I'm not on
Val.
it.
Carrie,
I
John.
Aye.
Thank you, Diane, on your motion.
Aye,
And I'm in favor too. Here we go. It's unanimous. Okay, so let's see. What time is it?
2:26.
2:26.
I don't think Katie
She's not,
is.
Katie's not here now. So then I think
Yeah.
If you really want to.
we can all go home and have a party.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Held for
Do we have
revision.
any minutes we have to
Oh.
do?
What?
Sure.
Held for revisions. No.
You guys know here and all this thing.
We actually covered.
Those cookies are good, weren't they? She made them. That's.
She made those?
If she did, I'm saying
Who
if she
made them?
did, because those were so good.
She made the
Yeah,
boxes
that's
too.
gonna ruin my
I didn't see
nap.
she purchased
I
them.
could see
Okay, thanks, everybody.
Aye.
Got a lot covered. It's 2:27. Okay, can I have a motion?
Motion to.
Thank you.
You keep trying to steal his fire. John has made a motion to adjourn on that motion. Diane,
aye.
thank you, Val.
Aye.
Abby,
Aye.
John on your motion.
Yes.
So we
Uh,
signed
John,
our.
that 3 tabs are not attainable anymore.
What?
I just got a request by